Hi, Breathe family. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jacqueline.
And welcome to this edition of Cushion Conversations. Today, Jack and I will be talking about our experience through meditation teacher training. And now here we are in the beautiful Breathe space.
So beautiful. It seemed like it wasn't ever going to come.
I know, but it did. And then it didn't, not that it didn't seem like it was going to end. More for me, it was just like, how am I going to make it to the end?
I know. And it went by so fast. I remember I attended one of Chelsea's classes at the refuge, and that was my first time meeting her, seeing her, and she was talking about her training that she was doing, and I was like, all right, sign me up. Literally 2 weeks, and it was in and out, and I will never regret it. That's
Amazing. For me, I think Chelsea and I talked a year before I actually did the training, and I don't know, I guess it wasn't my time type of thing, because this last fall was like the most impeccable timing, and I truly needed it, and it was definitely a calling for me. And I even remember like waking up that day being sad and a little depressed about things going on in my life, and where you do most of your thinking, but I was in the bathroom and I was sitting there looking like, well, what's the prices and what's the dates and times? And, that was even more depressing because of my teaching schedule, because I was like, oh, there's no way.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, I put the deposit down and made it happen. So we'll talk about our journeys, but we'll also, talk about how we got there, which we just did, and how we pushed through, and what fears and what some notions that came up that were, leading us more towards not wanting to do it as opposed to doing it. And, whatever you're feeling, if there is something that you're wanting to do in life, and, there's timing is everything, I think. Absolutely. As well. But if it's something that's really calling for you, I think, you got to pull the trigger. So
absolutely. So you being a yoga instructor, what was your calling or your draw towards this program?
Meditation?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'll ask you the same thing in a different form.
Yeah. I was just thinking, because like yoga, you have a foundation, but maybe there's just like a little piece that you think you're missing, or you're searching for something in your own, maybe just in your own personal practice.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's weird because it was kind of like a couple different things. I feel like yoga teacher training for me was for me, but I initially had that ulterior, or that motive of like, oh, this is going to be my job. I can't wait to get out of like service industry and jobs that I've never liked to do initially. Yes. And so that was already a goal of like, yeah, I'm doing this for me because I already feel yoga is speaking to me, but now it's like I really want to turn my life around and be in different atmospheres type of thing. And then the meditation training, I think, was a calling that, I think in some way, shape, or form, I knew I was going to teach it. But for me in that moment, it was like, I need something for me right now, because I think with my teaching schedule at the time, we did ours last fall, so nothing was really happening in the world as it is now. So my schedule was super jam-packed, as I know yours is, and everyone's is. And so, it was just a tough time. Nothing super crazy, but just like anyone goes through heartbreak and different things like that. So I feel like I was on my way to answers, but I needed more direction and maps. And, I can guide a class really well, and I can, say some really encouraging stuff. But until I did the training, I really didn't have any grasp on meditation.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would not have known.
Yeah.
Because I think you do a fantastic job. So
well, thank you.
So now you just elevated yourself.
I think maybe, I guess I could project it very well, but internally, if you ask me, what Vipassana or what Tonglen or what, Qigong even, or any of these styles were. Even now we learned so much. So even now I probably still have to go back and look in the book, but I still have a lot better grasp and more confidence to where I'm not just bullshitting people, and I can actually say, this is what we're doing, this is what we're going to focus on, and give you tools to get there.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, just some extra tools. Just to already add to what you already have. So that's really cool.
And in your world, Jack is an amazing facilitator of children. Fifth grade teacher. So you being on the opposite end of well, whenever I went to meditation teacher training, I was in lots of great atmospheres, but you were already, I feel, it could be a little chaotic, but I feel like you're already in a pretty peaceful atmosphere in life dealing with kids.
Sort of. Where I teach, we have low socioeconomic backgrounds. And so I was seeing, this is my third year teaching, and I was just really seeing, my kids, like, behavior issues, like the first and second year. And I'm just like, it was constantly in the back of my mind. I'm like, there's got to be something, going on with these kids, like internally, like they're not dealing with something. And reflecting on myself during this time too, I was having my own practice, and I was just kind of working through my own, self-healing, and what I went through as the same age they were, 10 years old, parents divorced, and just really like shoving a lot of feelings down and not having a safe place to release them. So, and a lot of kids, that's their only place, is at school. And so I just kind of wanted to know more about the social emotional healing and aspect of us, and really just emotions and how they don't mean everything, and they're not always the driver of this vehicle. So I was doing my own practice, and I just wanted to learn more and how I could better myself, and also just bring it into the classroom. And we do breathing exercises with my kids. We do a lot of affirmations with my kids, and just really being intentional and listening to them. It's really just what they need, is just some mindful, just, hey, we just need to slow down for a little bit. We need to just take some time, reflect, and so I was able to adapt it in my own personal practice, but then also give it to others, my students, teachers, my coworkers. So
that's pretty amazing how we can again come from different like reasons of why we want to jump into it, but I think like you said, we've both integrated this meditation not just into our careers and jobs, but into our everyday life. And one of the biggest ones and the biggest boom I think right now is mindfulness, and everyone's practicing, and for me, mindfulness, you can put it in your everyday life. And as a musician, I love to practice and play drums, and sometimes I feel very uninspired, but I know when I pull like a piece of sheet music out or put like some music on, that like puts me in a meditation, because I have to focus on something and not just like sit down and just la 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 type of thing, which is also great. But
just being able to be present and be just happy with that present moment, not having expectations and not having, to worry about anything, just really, even if it is like a mundane task, or if it's something that you're not inspired about, how can you still find just some little light in it?
Right, exactly. And I think I know from my family's personal experience, they're very quick to have a problem and then be like, screw this, and then just walk away type of thing. And if we're conditioned, Jack's kids, some of them might be conditioned to just see that every day. And if that's all we see every day, I read a great quote or some type of phrase the other day where even I say this, where I say, do what feels right. But if you don't know what feels right, and you just kind of resort back to a bad habit where it makes you think you feel right because you feel good, but again, good is an emotion that can be
Yeah,
deceiving.
absolutely. I agree with that. I think what the unlearning, I say, is what a huge thing that I took from Chelsea's meditation training was it allowed me to not only educate myself on, or have us educated
Yeah.
on all these different styles and techniques and stuff, but it was about so much self-reflection and how you show up every day to the world and to yourself. And really, it was like an unlearning process. Like I think Katie said at the beginning, like this class is really just like a mirror. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like it was, but then also at the same time, it was like we were building that same connection with each other. So we were able to see the growth and the changing and the reflection in each other and really like honor that. And so it was just so special, and just like putting everyone on a pedestal. So I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I did too. We had great facilitators throughout. They brought in different teachers for each section of meditation. We had some crazy stuff go on.
Oh,
that
so great.
Yeah, I know each, and it's funny running into different people that went through the training in a different group, because like they had completely different experience, but like we say the same thing of like, oh yeah, that shit was crazy when we did this, or oh yeah, when we did that meditation, it was like, what was going on there?
Yes,
But
absolutely. The dynamics was so great.
Yeah.
Just learning together and totally getting out of your comfort zone with 15 other strangers, and
Mm-hmm.
you're all wanting to have self growth and improvement. And so it's just, I mean, to be in a room with, I think we've said it, like that room, it just radiated. Like,
yeah.
Every single weekend that we were together, and you're just, it doesn't matter if you're strangers or not. We were just there doing good for ourselves and for each other and for the greater good.
Yeah. So
just what it's about, y'all.
That's what it's about, really. And pushing past, your limitations of like me, with money and the time and stuff like that. If something's really speaking to you, then, be mindful about it and research. If you want to jump out of an airplane, like research it and do stuff like that. If you want to learn how to start meditating, you can contact any one of us here at Breathe. We would love to help you out with that. But you can also start on your own at your house or with our Breathe catalog too. So
I love this. I love that we're doing this. This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it can be scary. Like I know when I started my practice, when I started to sit with myself, it feels kind of weird. You're asking, am I doing this right?
Mm-hmm.
What am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to not think? I'm thinking a lot. How do I make the thoughts stop? But it's just, no, it's really just listening to that inner voice, and that, just a filter and all the shit that goes on throughout our days, and we don't have time to process. And so it's really just kind of like a processing and a listening, and it can only be done with you. With you.
Literally, yeah. I love that, because it is a very scary thing to go inward.
Yeah.
It's a very scary thing to look at yourself in the mirror, or to just sit with yourself. Even, the look in the mirror is just a figure of speech. So, I would, I don't know, I would definitely recommend just your awareness, in how you think and what you're doing every day, why you're doing it. If you're just at a job and doing it for money and just to live, and there's so much more out there, and there's so much more that we have inside to offer, all of us. None of us are special from one another. We're all special. So I say go for it and find what you're looking for.
If you're just needing clarity, or if you're just needing some quiet time, really anything. I think when we just silence everything and listen to the inner voice, you may not know what you're wanting to get out of it then. Like you might not know what your expectations are, and that's okay. Just really listening, and like maybe that intention or your expectations will come later. So just be patient with yourself, be graceful. That's the biggest thing, is we can be our worst critics and think that we're doing something wrong, but just starting is just the hard part. So just start somewhere.
Starting is just the hard part. And I do promise and guarantee that if you just try this, your meditation, your watching and being there and just being present, things will start to shift. But you have to stay the course. It doesn't matter how long you do it a day. You can sit for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, but I would say more consistent. As you guys know, we're all adults here. Consistency is going to be the key. So watch your patterns that you're being consistent with that aren't the most healthiest, and you can change that with a new routine of meditation, and we're here for you with that.
Yes, absolutely. We are here always. So if you need us, this is where we will be.
Yeah, let us know, and please continue to watch our videos and join us. And if you have any questions on anything, but trainings are made for a reason, and they definitely transform and help change. It's just looking for the right one for you. So we found a great one here with Chelsea and here at Breathe. And if you have any questions on that, just contact us.
I'd be happy to answer any questions. I could talk about our training all day.
Yeah, and it's life-changing.
It's like total, like just life-changing experience. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. But until next time, this has been our Christian Conversations, and I'm Sean.
And I'm Jacqueline. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Peace and love.